think the podcasts and the online content that I really love is the stuff that has journalistic integrity a lot of the time. And my concern a lot of the time is that a lot of content out there doesn't necessarily have journalistic integrity at the moment. And I suppose we've got these buzzwords at the moment, kind of misinformation and things like that, misinformation and disinformation and stuff. And one that really came to me was where I was talking to a local contact here who's a journalist, and it was the distinction between what is good content and what is a good story is really, I think, is that important thing. And it used to be that you could distinguish what was a story from content because you were reading it in the national newspaper or you were watching it on the national news. And now, as you say, the stats are so many people are getting their news from social media, it's become so much harder to distinguish between what's the truth and not. And that's another buzzword, isn't it? We're living in a post-truth society. But I just wanted to applaud you, actually, because I think that given that context, and obviously hearing you speak, you understand a lot about that. And I suppose what I hear in what you're saying about journalists is a commitment to that truth, to that, to finding out what's really going on.
Yeah. I mean, people, it's sort of the wheat from the chaff. People are seeing all of the wheat. They're seeing the thrust of all these different stories. As you said, the stories from the content. And not only that, you also need the context of whatever else is going on in the news cycle. And people are going to continue now to only see the wheat of what's going on. But to tell stories in their whole and in their truth is what I continually strive to do. I end up writing copies for these articles, and it's like, oh yeah, well, this needs to be out on the website in the next 2 hours. All right, yeah, give me an extra 5 minutes. I'm on the. And they're like, you were only meant to do 200 words. I was like, yeah, well, I'm on 800, and we need the context for this.
Well, that's the job, isn't it? I suppose that's that you write and then editors edit. Editing is often shortening, isn't it? But
yes, I think that's what it is. Yeah.
Personally, I think, and I come at this from the opposite side to you, because I'm a marketer in trade, but I'd still call a copywriter. But certainly my approach to that is sometimes I think I need the long draft in order to cut down to the core message. Yeah. And I don't know what that 200-word version is going to be until I've written the 800-word version.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you have the non-linear narrative of sort of all good copy should be able to be cut from the bottom. So you start with the thrust of what's going on, then you slowly go backwards and tell people all the context. That used to be really good when everything was printed and you had to fit this big story into a 300 word block in the corner. But now maybe the digital sort of revolution of news does actually allow for maybe more context in that way, because you're not working to sort of constrictive page layouts.
I was going to say, actually, I think it's exactly the same. Because really, if you're doing a YouTube video or you're doing a social media reel, you put the hook right at the front, right? You put something to grab people's attention. And that's a different way to approach it than the journalistic thing that you're talking about, is get the key message at the beginning, the key thing you want to take away. But it's almost like, to me, when I heard you say that, it's like recognizing people's attention spans have always been small. Like, there's the thing of, to sell your newspaper and to really get the message across, it was front page above the fold, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you still get that